there, May Flom here, and I am excited today because I'm going to be sharing two things with you. First and foremost, I am going to be showing you how I cut out designs in batches on my ScanNCut2 for the holidays. The holidays is a very busy time, and this is a time when I definitely want to be maximizing my use of everything that I've got. So I'm going to be showing you that. I'm also going to be showing you how I create a cover for my holidays notebook. Now, I put everything from a list of people I'm getting gifts for. I tuck receipts into here. I make the schedules. I make notes. If there are things that happen, things that I want to scrapbook or put into my annual December memory keeping project, whatever that might be, there's lots of things going on. So let's kick it off with the ScanNCut. I have the ScanNCut2. I have the 650 model. There are two different models. So you may be seeing me use designs that your machine may have or may not, depending on which ScanNCut you happen to have. So I'm just going through here and I've already loaded a really pretty green plaid paper onto my mat and ready to go. So I'm just going to pop through and find a couple of designs that appeal to me that I think will go really well with this paper, that I could see myself using, if not on the project we're making today, then on a future project. And once I have picked all my designs, I am going to go ahead and scan my paper in. So by pushing that little third button on the left, down on the left, where it's got like the blue screen and kind of a line through it, that's going to just scan my paper. And I point this out to you because if you're not working with a full sheet of paper, if you're working with a part of a sheet or even a scrap, this is a great feature because you're able to make sure that you're going to cut on the paper that you have in there. So now that I've chosen a couple designs, I'm going to go ahead and let the ScanNCut do the work for me and cut them out. My favorite among these has to be the reindeer. I've got so many holiday projects that I want to put this reindeer on, and right away I just know that that's going to be the one that ends up just really working for me here on this notebook. Once I have chosen what I want and where I want to place it, I'm going to go ahead and put a liquid adhesive down. Now I use a liquid adhesive that's good as a sealant. It's completely matte finish. It'll dry completely clear. And that's definitely what I want for a project like this. Once I have my reindeer in place, anything else, if there are other shapes, if there are some stickers, anything else that I want to add on to the cover, I'm going to go ahead and do and repeat the process of making sure that they're sealed in with that liquid adhesive sealant. I'm going to do this because when I'm working on a notebook cover, it's going to get wear and tear. And I really need to be careful and make sure that everything is really attached down really, really nicely. And once this is all complete, once I'm happy with everything, I'm just going to set it aside and let it dry. Now, once it is dry, I have here that you see me playing with a little bird and little branch that was cut out with my ScanNCut. In fact, down below in the notes of this video, you'll find a link to that video if you want to see how to cut out specific shapes out of pattern paper. And I'm going to put this inside. This little birdie was an extra. It was from making that video, and I never did find a use for it. So I'm going to put it to use here, decorating the inside of my book. Back to the front cover, and we are ready to put on some finishing touches. So I wanted to make my reindeer a little bit glossy, and I have a couple options here. I could use a dimensional glossy adhesive or sealant, that kind of a thing. That takes a long time to dry. I could also put down that piece of paper that I used, that I cut the reindeer out of. I could place it over the top like a stencil, and I could apply a glossy gel medium. But again, we're looking at some considerable dry time. So instead of either of those things, what I am going to do is I'm still going to place that piece of paper down as a stencil. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a embossing ink pad, tap my reindeer, and then put clear embossing powder over and heat set the clear embossing. Now, just a tip here, if after you do this, you're not quite happy with it or you feel like you could use a little bit more, well, guess what? That's no problem. All you've got to do is just repeat the process and put another layer of embossing powder on. And just a tip, if you have some that's sticking where you don't want it stuck off of your reindeer, all you got to do is take a little dry, it has to be very dry paintbrush, and you can just wipe away and brush off any unwanted embossing powder before you heat set it. Now, with that done in just minutes, the next step is to get decorative. Finishing touches time. So I'm going to do a couple things. First of all, I'm going to take some gold spray mist, take the top off, and just flick some gold droplets. Then I'm going to put some liquid adhesive down, and I'm going to add some sequins and beads and things to really just bring some holiday festive cheer to my journal. Now, I was a little concerned that even after dry that some of these accents would maybe flake off. So to really seal them in, I'm going to put a dollop of glossy liquid adhesive over each of them and really seal them in so they're not going anywhere. They are stuck to my book. And once this is done, I'm going to come back in with that gold mist and just a few more droplets because I just can't help myself and it's just too much fun. Once this is done, guys, we're there. Our project is done. And while I may not be ready for the holidays, I'm ready to start list making, journaling, and preparing for the holidays. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Remember, you can always subscribe here to my YouTube channel if you don't already to get even more videos. I will see you next time. I wish you very happy crafting.